Hello and welcome back to the How to Become a Developer with No Prior Experience tutorial. Today we will be going over Google Admob. We're going to be configuring to serve ads in our application that we are working on to start earning some real money. In the background here, you'll see some stats for one of the apps that I have on production. You can see that I earned a whopping 1 cent from the last 23 requests that resulted in 7 ad impressions. Not that impressive, but my hope here is that through this tutorial you have much better ideas than me and can begin making some real cash. So as per usual, the easiest way to get started with these sorts of difficult, confusing things is using a plugin. So come over here to Poing Studios, Go.Admob plugin, and hit the asset library. You'll be brought to this nice little page and go ahead and hit download. Come over here to the folder called add-ons, and you're going to go ahead and copy this Admob folder and word game into Fluzzle and come to the add-ons folder. So now if you are following along with the tutorial up to this point, we've already had a plugin, but if you're jumping into the tutorial at this point to just try and configure Admob, you may need to copy the whole add-ons folder. So just a heads up and a warning there. So once you've gone ahead and copied over this Admob folder, what you want to do is come over to Fluzzle, and you'll see some loading will happen in the background, okay? Okay, so perfect. So once that loading is done, now if you come over here to project settings and plugins, you should now see Admob here by Poing Studios. Go ahead and now turn this on, and you'll see some downloads automatically happen in the background, and you want to go ahead and open up the config.gd file. So what happened in the background there, if you were paying attention and you happened to catch it on time, was some downloads occurred. So automatically we got an Android download. So this tutorial is for Godot 4.5.1, and you'll see this guy here. Go ahead and extract the contents of this file, come in here and copy all of this information and come back here to Android bin and paste and go replace the files in this destination. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so for now, what we're going to do is we're going to use the default application ID that's set here in config.gd. That's absolutely fine for now. In the future, you may want to come to Admob, go apps and go add application, and you'll get your own CA app pub with the tilde sign here. That's how you know it's your application ID. And once you are ready to deliver to production, you can go ahead and replace this. But for now, it's very important that we're only serving test ads. If you are serving real production ads to your application while it is in any amount of internal testing or beta track, if you're not full production, you risk the chance of getting kicked off of the Admob program. So be careful, and for now, let's just go ahead and use the default application ID. So as a reminder here, we have our level screen, and on our level screen, potentially we're going to want to add a banner ad. So this is the most basic, simple ad. There's multiple types of ads that we may go over in this tutorial, but the main setup and configuration is just about the same. So let's go over the easiest. And we're going to serve a banner ad in this location here. So let's talk about how we're going to go ahead and do that. So up here, first thing what we're going to want to do is have an on initialization complete listener and set a new listener. Okay, and we'll also need a add view of type add view. Okay, so this is where we're going to start doing the Admob configuration. In the ready function, let's go ahead and make a new function called Admob configuration. You see here that I've got a function here already for my Android authentication, and I'm just going to make another function for the Admob configuration just to keep everything all nice and simple and straightforward. So what is this function going to look like? First, let's just do a little bit of a logger statement. We're inside Admob configuration in case we need to debug a little bit later. And what we need to set up first is an onInitialization complete listener dot onInitialization complete. Attach the function to an onAddInitialization complete function. And this function is going to be in our application. So let's go ahead and once again write that function here. And it's important that this function takes one parameter called status, and it has the status of initialization status. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and type pass here. Nothing too important. I just had a small typo. Okay, so next we need a request config. And this is going to be a type of request configuration .new. We'll instantiate the request configuration class. And I want to show you how to serve child-friendly ads. So if your application is, not necessarily targeted towards children, but is child-friendly, especially if you want to release your application in Europe, you need to maintain COPPA compliance. And so your application must be serve only child-friendly ads. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. If your application is primarily targeted for adults, then you can go ahead and skip this. Configuration.and tag for child treatment.true. Let me just check my OBS and make sure that you can see all the code. Perfect. My face is small enough that you can see everything going on. And this will be the child-friendly rating. So request config.max add content rating is request configuration.max add content rating G. So this will make sure that the ads are appropriate for child friendliness. And in the case where it's a rewarded ad, they are shorter. When we're serving to children, I think a maximum of 5 seconds. And for this, that the actual content of the ad is rated G. Okay, very important. So now let's go ahead and if mobile ads, so if our plugin is initialized correctly, let's just write once again a statement here, mobile ads is found. And let's start doing the initialize. So mobile ads dot initialize, and we want to pass it the onInitialization complete function. OnInitialization complete listener, that we created up above. And I think I just have a typo. Perfect, yep, I just had a typo. And we want to call mobile ads dot set the request configuration to the request config that we just set up here. So even if you don't do these request configs, you'll still need to just spawn a new request configuration and pass it into the set request config function here. And otherwise, we are going to say else print mobile ads plugin not found. Okay, perfect. Just for a little bit of debugging to make sure that we're all on the same track. Okay, great. So now let's start working on our add initialization complete function. So in this function, we want to call another function create banner add, just to keep everything nice and hunky-dory and separated logically. I'll have one more statement here, banner add init complete, and we'll call the create banner add function. Once again, a function that we're going to create ourselves. And what is this going to do? So if add view, we're going to destroy the add view. So it is possible that we already have set the add view and set it to a separate banner. You may have some sort of refresh cycle where you're constantly refreshing this banner the longer the user is on the level select screen, or maybe it's from the last instance of the scene we still have this created. So this will be another function, very straightforward function, destroy add view, and all this is going to do is it's just going to reset the function, so the add view. So we'll just call destroy on the add view and set it back to null. Perfect. Okay, once we've destroyed the add view, so we know that we have a blank canvas with our add view, we need an add listener. and this is going to be of type add listener. So let's instantiate the add listener class, and let's give it a on add fail to load, and let's set the listener for this function with a parameter of on add load error of type load error. Print. For now, you may want to react to this, but for now, all we really need is just to print and kind of keep track of maybe what's going on. So we should be good to go with that. Dot on fail to load. Okay, so add listener dot now on add loaded. Once again, another function, print banner add loaded, and we'll want to call addView.show now at this point. So that's going to actually make the ad visible to the user. And remember, this is called when the ad is actually done loading. Add listener done. I'm trying to figure out what exactly this error is. Load error, load add error. There's my mistake, sorry. Okay, so great. So now let's configure our add view. So let's go add view.new, and we'll set it to the unit ID, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Add size dot, I want to have a banner ad, and add position, we're gonna set it to the bottom left of the application. Okay, so what is this unit ID? So this unit ID is going to be the default ID for banner ads. So you can find this in the documentation. And again, similar to how we have our application ID set up, you'll see here with the tilde, we have a default test banner ad ID. So this is different for interstitial ads, this is different for rewarded ads, so make sure you go ahead and hit up the documentation for this default, and so this will make sure that your application is only serving test ads. Once again, very important. Once we have our ad view instantiated, let's go ahead and add the ad listener to the ad listener that we configured above, and now we need an add request. Make the instantiate the add request class, and add view.load add request. So this is actually going to now attempt to load the ad, and we're listening here for the on add loaded or on add failed to load function. And if our banner ad successfully loads, we're going to go ahead and show the ad. Otherwise, we're going to print that there is some sort of failure. Okay, so that's all we need to do to serve a banner ad here on the code side in Godot. The next thing you need to do is configure your AndroidManifest. So come back here to the base of your puzzle of your application that you're working on, and come to Android build and pop up your AndroidManifest in Notepad. You'll need to add some permission statements here. So let's go ahead, and I will pull up my manifest of my application that I know my ads is working on, the one that I have currently in internal testing. And what you're missing here is the uses permission functionality. So we need to make sure that we're able to access the internet, access the network state, and most importantly, that we can access the permission ad ID. On previous versions of this plugin, we also need to set the app pub application ID here in the AndroidManifest, but in the 4.5.1 version of the plugin, all of this is handled on the backend for us by setting this value here in the config.gd of the plugin. So at this point, we are all good to go to export and release. So as usual, let's go ahead, come up here to your export file, make sure that you're targeting at least SDK 36, increment your version, and let's go ahead and make a release. Okay, so as per usual, once our update has hit the cloud, we can go ahead and update our application. And when we launch our application, we should now see a banner ad being served in the bottom left of the screen. Okay, so let's go ahead and go open. And perfect, so we can see down here in the bottom left, we have our banner ad. And if we click it, it brings us to the location where it's been configured to test us. So if we do load the game screen, you see that it doesn't go away, and if we go back to complete level, and our Google Play Services configuration is still working as expected. So congratulations, you have successfully configured your Admob configuration with your application. So now, there's a possibility that you could actually earn some real cash developing your application. So I think that's all for today. If you do want more details on how to serve rewarded ads or interstitial ads, go ahead, drop a comment, and maybe I'll consider uploading another tutorial on that. But for now, your Admob is configured. You can serve a banner ad. That's a great start, and I will see you on the next tutorial where we will be handling persistent user data so that your players can seamlessly hop between their different devices. I'll see you then. Thanks.